So let's start with the monthly chart. We have a lot going on this S&P chart because I've been tracking that 8.6 frequency for so long now. This monthly cycle is really quite high, and it's been just remaining high, which is kind of rare. So there's no doubt that we're kind of overbought, but at the same time, the market hasn't gone vertical either. So it's just grinding. It's just a power trend higher in stocks. The weekly cycle, we're still rising into the end of this week. You are overbought on the RSI, but that's not surprising. Growth's accelerating still. So our call has been long stocks. Now, today, marks it's not the best scrolling feature here. Now on this 8.6 count, guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Tomorrow will be another 8 count, so maybe we'll get a cycle high on this. We had a cycle low back here in the 8.6 count, pretty much the low of the move. 8 days up, and then we've done another cycle of 8 up. So that'll be interesting to note. I have these two different regression channels drawn, and we like to use those. They just help with identifying the risk range, as they call it. So it's done a good job here, very good job here. You didn't quite get to the outer bounds of it on this dip, but right now the market, the top of the range is closer to 2520. You're going to have the whole number here at 2500 that matters, just because it's the figure. But 2400 has kind of been definitely the bottom of the bigger picture range. And then you could actually tighten this up. There's a tighter range here on S&Ps. Instead of 2 standard deviations, which typically works the best. This is kind of defined the near-term range a little better. So you can see again the top of that range is all up towards 2520. These lows here, 2462, would be the first pivot that maybe you can get a 3 to 5 day pullback. But still constructive and bullish on stocks overall. Real quick on oil. Still playing this on the short side. We've been bearish all year. There's been some very cyclical movements. You can see it on the weekly and monthly charts. There's a lot going on with the signals on here. We're still in an up cycle for this week, but just good ebb and flow. So I won't put the regression channel on here, guys, but if you laid a regression channel on over oil here, you can draw the trend lines. There's a lot of reasons to be looking for another lower high relative to here. This is the trend we're basically been in. So we've been trying to fade this a little bit. I bought some 47.5 and 47 puts. Kind of out of the money right now in the futures. I'm waiting for just a little bit higher. The underside of 50, I'm going to play a core short, a little bit heavier. The daily cycle's up. So you had a weekly cycle that's up this week and a daily cycle that's up. So it's no surprise that we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has been an up week for oil. This was a little bit tricky because you failed at the bands, and then we got a sell set up. So you got pi here, the 200. It's just a matter of kind of how you work the position. And lastly, we just do gold. The main thing on gold is that was the wall about halfway. I took this weird long, small long all the way on this round trip. Like, this is not really typical of me, but I wanted some gold in the portfolio versus my dollar longs because it's tough to get dollar down and gold down in any meaningful way. So the dollar's been down, which has helped push gold up, so I just stayed with that. But I didn't really get aggressive. I didn't like that we broke these lows. I didn't like that we were below the bands. So I didn't add in here, which looking back would have been nice, but I just didn't have it in the model. It was looking more bearish than anything, so I didn't want to keep adding to it. So I sat through it along basically from here all the way back to here. Punched some out there at a loss, and then just I think I made like $200 on that play. But that was down more, and then it was obviously coming back with this move up. So here, this is interesting. I don't know if did we have a new contract? We might have rolled to the December contract. I haven't been paying that much attention. Yesterday was pretty well bid, but you have pi here. This is pretty neutral to me. I don't see a lot of edge. If you're playing long, you're playing long the intermediate term, which is probably the right thing to do. But the more we retrace this move down, there's a good chance that we'll make a lower high here. Especially if we think the euro rolls over and the dollar catches up, makes another higher low longer term, that's going to probably get gold to roll back over. So I'm pretty agnostic and neutral gold in here for the time being. Anyway, I think that's probably good for now, guys.